Hello, it's Susan back again for the fourth video on my new channel. So I've had a couple of days that I've been pretty busy and I haven't been able to get my sound mic sorted, so I'm going to try my best to speak up as best I can today. I have had a few people saying my sound's a bit low, but it might be my voice as well, so I'll do my best today until this mic. I live in a pretty remote area, and it's a little bit of a challenge to get any new products or anything. It's like an hour and a half's drive to the local city to get anything. So, and the weather's been a little yucky down here in Tasmania, down under Australia. It's been quite windy and a bit dangerous driving through some of the remote areas. So I haven't been in a hurry to rush off, but I have done some research to see what I can use, and I think I'll have that's this week. So I hope you're all well. Hope you're feeling very aligned and connected to your spiritual self, which is what I got in meditation this morning, that we all need to sit upright and be nice and straight and keep ourselves open to receiving some of this new energy that's coming in, so that we'll all be a little bit more psychic, in fact, is what I feel. So if you're not already sitting up, sit up straight and try and let your crown chakra receive a little bit more information coming through intuitively. So you might be able to tap in a little bit more with that guidance that came through. So what else did I have written down here? I thought today I might have a look at January 2021 and just get an overview, not every day, just an overview of January, and just do each week and just see if I can connect to source now for you and see what's available for us for our spiritual development, more so than there's so much going on the planet that it's so easy for us to get caught up in all the mind and the what's going to happen to this one and that one with all the political stuff. So I'd like to just take us into a little bit of spiritual stuff, and that'll give us the solutions and the way of tapping in and also knowing ourselves. So I'm sure guidance will give me something if we need to know, and it'll come through. And you're very welcome to put any questions on if you're a subscriber, or I really say subscribe, hit that little bell or that subscriber button that I'm learning about on YouTube. Welcome to put a question on there if there's something that you want me to dive deep into that's troubling you. I can't promise that I'll get to everyone, but I'll make sure I'll go through and have a look. So please feel free to do that. And so just wanting to connect to source, just wanting to feel ourselves nicely connected here. I always do a little prayer before I start. I've done one this morning, but I might just take you through that too. It's just a little mumble that I do just to bring myself, back into alignment, dropping deep within, so that I'm not too heady, that I'm actually coming from that place of knowing rather than thinking. Okay, so just bear with me there for a moment. And with this, I invoke the light of God within. I'm a clear and perfect channel, and light guides me. I call to the Holy Spirit, the all-knowing source that we're all connected to come through with messages of love and guidance, confirmation, and of course for the high good of all. And so it shall be. So I'm not going to do that with every time I sit here, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a feeling of this diving in, lining ourselves before we start any intuitive work, and making sure that it's for the higher good of all, and doing our best with that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use my tarot cards, my 20-year-old tarot cards, just to have a look. So we might have a look at January. So let's look at the first week of January. How we'll all be feeling, because we'll be coming out of the celebrations and the new year, and I just want to have a look at the collective world and how we all look and what to be alert to, and maybe what we can use to get through that period. It could be quite a happy period by the feel of it. What I'm picking up there now feels quite lighter. Some people will be feeling, and that's in a collective, but there'll be also the complete opposite of that. So to be alert to your neighbours, to be alert to anyone that you know that's alone through that Christmas, end of December, January phase. Pick up the phone and call someone. They might be just you might change that day for them. They're saying be authentic. I often hear as well, just be authentic in 2021, January. Start to set that intention on New Year's Eve. Set the intention, be yourself, really be yourself, and let that come through. So there's something coming through that's really coming to an end. That was the first one that came out. So when I get the death card, it's still about endings and new beginnings, but it's also about decluttering as well. So you might be ending stuff that you've been holding on to in terms of belief systems and how you look at your life. So, do a cleanup. We often get rid of a lot of stuff at this time of year, but the cleanup could be people or the way you're thinking, belief systems. It could be stuff, just decluttering and getting everything cleaned up in that first week of January. If you're on holidays, and you're taking some time out and you've been gifted and all of that, it might be a good time to really reflect and declutter internally as well as externally. So that was a nice little bit of information there coming through for January. I'll just go a little bit further on that. I just want to see how we're looking with the world. Okay, so all organisations are just sort of in pause, but there's a lot of stuff that's upside down. So, be aware that the people in authority are really holding force at the moment. It's nearly like they're defending something, and I think that's that's something that we all have to do, is to put up what it is that we really know and get our hearts and our heads connected, so that we know the truth, so that we can be our authentic self, so that nothing that's not for the high good of all, that has to be revealed and cleaned up, so that's all leading on from that decluttering of our belief systems, what works for us and what doesn't, on the planet and such. There will be a lot of people that are feeling very disadvantaged, and I've got this is more in the colder climate. So if you're coming into winter, it's going to be a bit tough, it's like you're just going to feel disadvantaged in some way. So there could be some extra health issues that have to be addressed. Make sure you're keeping yourself, as healthy as you can in any environment you are in. So that might be exercising in home and, really connecting through the internet, talking to people, really, just connecting, knowing that you can always rely on what I just connected to when I did my little prayer. If you have nothing else, if you're feeling down, there's always behind the scenes, and that's deep within. So that's my best friend. Whenever I'm troubled, my best friend is there. And, it doesn't matter what you call it. Just come back to your best friend, which is, just connecting to your heart and your breath and listening to what's coming up for you and being really observant for all aspects of yourself. So, that's definitely looking like there could be. So justice has just come out, the justice card. So justice will prevail. I think I've said that before. If you're concerned about what's happening in your country, in your state, in your community, everything is going to be balanced out. It's coming in 2021. We're really into it now. It's starting. But, much more. You can focus on that for the coming weeks. And there's a victory card. So that's how it finishes off, all right? So that's how it finishes off. About 5 weeks in, actually. About 5 to 6 weeks into the year, you'll see something that's given that says, it's like we can breathe again. We can breathe again. All right. And that'll be on an individual level as well as a collective level. So you'll feel like, you're breathing again. Right into that January. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look. That's sort of leading you into towards the end of January. I'm just going to have a quick look at the very last week, because that's probably pretty relevant to a lot of people. I'm just feeling guidance is wanting me to So there's a lot of anxiety coming through collectively at the moment too. I think not everywhere, but I think there's a build-up of tension energetically. Let me have a look at what yeah, we're connecting to loved ones. This is often brings up stress for people because even though you love your family, sometimes it's a bit tricky to actually be with them, to communicate with them. Lots and lots of souls are empathic now because we're waking up, but a lot of the old personality stuff is still intermingled, and so when we get together, there's this sort of feeling of, oh, I've got to protect my energy field. So yeah, protect your energy field. Do some meditation before you go, and expand yourself so that when you're with your loved ones, that you can just hold space with them. Everyone's got personalities and everyone's going to have attitudes and views and that, but you don't have to get in and take things personal. You can just be with them and just let that time go through. A couple of cards on that. I just got that clairvoyantly, seeing people sort of trying to manage their families, just manage their families. It's all going to be okay, but it does really sort of say that it resets things. Anyone who's getting their buttons pressed during that time, if you can own it, if you can say, oh, there I am having a reaction. Whew. What part of me has not resolved? What part of me is still hurting a bit? Yeah, I need to take care of that. Unfortunately, we often go, I wish they wouldn't do that. It upsets me. But really, if we can go, thank you for doing that. Now I know what still upsets me and I can do some work on that. Okay, so yeah, there'll be a bit of that coming up, some of the shadows from the past and bits and pieces like that. Guidance is saying, please try not to judge. Please try not to judge. Judgment is observe, yeah, just change that feeling of judgment back to, I'm just going to observe this. I'm just going to observe this. Yeah, and it's uncomfortable, but I'm observing rather than judging, and that way it won't come back to you in any form. Whereas when we do the judgment, it's more in the ego, Often, egos, you end up feeling that pain reflected back at you. Okay, nothing lacking. Focus on receiving. Focus on receiving. Success. Keep your attention on all of that. Okay. So the last week feels restful in some way, and yet you're restful in yourself. There's a lot more clarity of what's happening. I know here in Australia we're welcoming in all the new. We've done very well where the coronavirus is concerned, and they're bringing the planes in now from all different countries today, landing in Australia. So there's a concern within the collective here of are we still safe? And the government's putting lots of things in place to make sure that because there will be sure to be people with the virus coming in, just making sure that they're isolating and doing everything to keep our country going. So I'd like to just welcome anyone who is in that to come through, and know that you will be safe here in Australia. And we know that we're going to be an example to other countries as well. So keep chipping away, guys, on all of that for yourself, wherever you are in the world. The cycle's coming to a close. It is coming to a close. It's just we don't have all the solutions, and it's going to be okay. There's a closure. And we'll sort of know that by the end of January, whether it be because of vaccinations or whether it be because people have got to this higher level of understanding and the consciousness moves us into a higher level. So all the solutions are there, all the solutions are there. We're learning through this. This is a big acceleration of change on the planet. Yep, security. Everyone's feeling reasonably safe by the end of January. Of course, there'll still be the decluttering going on. There'll still be the fear that's arisen out of all the passing, all the bodies, all the people that have gone home. Know that they're still with us, but there's no body now. Nothing exists in terms of body for any length of time. We're all destined to, that's what's not permanent, is our bodies. but our spirit's here. So while we're here in body, we're doing the best to have the experience that was intended for us. So the end of January, yep, looks good, guys. It's the timing. Of course, timing's always a bit tricky when we're reading out of the cards, but I see a lot of joy, I see a lot of family, I see a lot of happiness around everyone. So do the best to bring that vibe into your world wherever you are. And, you know, we have the internet, so, yeah, just step out when you're feeling uncomfortable. Know that uncomfortable's okay, you know. Uncomfortable's okay. Just walk through that a little bit and you'll find you'll get comfortable again. So that's great. I'm going to pull up now and wish you all the best today. It's Monday the 6th of December here in Australia, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a great day. Some of you, it'll be a Sunday, and I hope you're resting and being kind to yourself, and I look forward to seeing you again. Remember, hop on and hit the subscription button if you want to hear from me again, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.